Hello all, hope you're doing well today. Hey, we are starting chapter 4 today. We're talking about carbohydrates, the main energy food. Here we go. Carbohydrates are the primary source of energy for our bodies. They are especially important for high intensity and daily activities. During digestion, carbohydrates are broken down into glucose, which fuels our muscles and brain. Carbohydrates come in various forms, including simple sugars like glucose and fructose, and complex carbohydrates found in foods like whole grains, vegetables, and legumes. Complex carbohydrates are particularly beneficial as they provide a steady release of energy. Adequate carbohydrate intake supports brain function, prevents protein breakdown, and promotes digestive health by providing dietary fiber. Fiber-rich carbohydrates aid in maintaining healthy blood sugar levels and reducing the risk of chronic diseases like diabetes and heart disease. For athletes, carbohydrates are crucial for sustaining energy levels during prolonged and high-intensity exercise. Consuming carbohydrates before, during, and after workouts can enhance performance and recovery by replenishing glycogen stores. Carbohydrates are composed of three elements: carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. These elements form the basic building blocks of carbohydrates, which are essential for providing energy to our bodies. Carbohydrates can be categorized into simple and complex forms. Here are some simple carbohydrates, also known as sugars. Monosaccharides are the simplest form of carbohydrates and include glucose, the primary energy source for our body cells, fructose, found naturally in fruits and honey, and galactose, typically part of lactose found in milk. Disaccharides are composed of two monosaccharide molecules bonded together. The main types of disaccharides are sucrose, which is common table sugar made of glucose and fructose, and maltose, which is found in germinating grains, composed of two glucose molecules, and then lactose, which is the sugar found in milk, made of glucose and galactose. And here you see the chemical makeup of monosaccharides. So fructose, which again is from fruit, glucose, and galactose. Next, we have complex carbohydrates, also known as starches. These carbohydrates are composed of three or more glucose molecules linked together, making them a more sustained energy source compared to the simple sugars. A polysaccharide is a type of complex carbohydrate that contains more than 10 glucose molecules. Examples include starches found in foods like potatoes, rice, and bread. Glucose polymers are polysaccharides that are prepared commercially by controlled hydrolysis of starch. They are often used in sports drinks and supplements to provide a quick and sustained energy source for athletes. Fiber is another type of complex carbohydrate that is crucial for digestive health. Unlike other carbohydrates, fiber is not broken down into glucose, but instead passes through the digestive system, aiding in digestion and helping to maintain healthy blood sugar levels. This table just really gives you a good idea of the types of dietary carbohydrates with the monosaccharides, disaccharides, polysaccharides, and dietary fiber. It's a great resource. Fiber itself can be further categorized into dietary fiber and functional fiber. Dietary fiber, also known as roughage, includes the indigestible parts of plant foods that pass relatively intact through the digestive system. There are two main types of dietary fiber, soluble and insoluble. Both types have different roles and benefits. Soluble fiber dissolves in water to form a gel-like substance. It can help lower blood cholesterol and glucose levels. Here are some examples: oats and oat bran, which are rich in beta-glucan and a type of soluble fiber that can help lower cholesterol. Barley contains soluble fiber that helps reduce cholesterol and blood sugar levels. And legumes, Beans, lentils, and peas are high in soluble fiber, as well as fruits and vegetables. Insoluble fiber does not dissolve in water and helps move material through the digestive system, promoting regularity and preventing constipation. And some examples of that are whole grains like whole wheat flour, whole wheat bran, brown rice, and whole grain bread. And nuts and seeds, almonds, sunflower seeds, and flax seeds, as well as vegetables like cauliflower, green beans, and potatoes, especially the skins. And fruits, such as those on the fruits such as berries, and fruit skins, such as those on apples and grapes. And legumes. And there are some foods that contain both types of fibers, such as Brussels sprouts that are high in fiber, and prunes that are known for their laxative effect, and sweet potatoes, one of my favorite foods. These fibers contribute to various health benefits, including improved digestion and reduced risk of chronic diseases. Functional fiber, on the other hand, refers to non-digestible carbohydrates that have been shown to have beneficial health effects. These fibers may be isolated or extracted from foods by chemical or other means, or they may be manufactured synthetically. Examples include fiber supplements and fiber-fortified foods. Total fiber is the sum of dietary fiber and functional fiber. Including both types of fiber in your diet ensures that you receive the full range of health benefits associated with fiber intake. Now let's take a look at some common foods that are high in carbohydrate content. Grains, foods like rice, oatmeal, bread, and pasta are rich in carbohydrates and serve as staple energy sources in many diets. Starchy vegetables such as corn, peas, and potatoes are high in carbohydrates and provide essential nutrients. And vegetables, while generally nutrient dense and low in calories, vegetables also contribute to daily carbohydrate intake. Milk and yogurt are not only high in carbohydrates but also provide significant amounts of protein. Beans and split peas are legumes that are excellent sources of carbohydrates and protein, making them valuable for a balanced diet. And fruits are typically more concentrated sources of carbohydrates and can be very helpful choices. And then sports food products and candy can be very dense sources of carbohydrates, but often lack other essential nutrients. And here you can just see that these are the examples of foods high in carbohydrate content. And it gives really the grams per serving for each of these. So how much carbohydrate do we need in the diet? The recommended dietary allowance, or RDA, for carbohydrate is set at 130 grams per day for both adults and children. The amount is considered sufficient to meet the energy needs of the average person, supporting brain function and daily physical activity. The acceptable macronutrient distribution range, or AMDR, provides a broader perspective, and it recommends that carbohydrates make up 45 to 65% of our daily energy intake. For athletes, sports nutritionists often suggest aiming for the higher end of this range, around 55 to 60% or even higher. For example, in a 3,000 kcal diet, this equates to 400 to 450 grams of carbohydrates per day. To put these recommendations into a practical context, the daily value, or DV, for carbohydrates on a standard 2,000 calorie diet is set at 60% of caloric intake. This translates to about 300 grams of carbohydrates per day, along with 25 grams of fiber to support digestive health. Added sugars are another important consideration. The National Academy of Sciences recommends limiting added sugars to no more than 25% of total daily calories. However, many health professionals advise keeping this limit even lower at 10% or less of total daily calories. This helps reduce the risk of chronic diseases and supports overall health. The adequate intake, or AI, for total fiber varies by age and gender. For men up to age 50, the AI is 38 grams per day, while for men over age 50, it decreases to 30 grams per day. For women, the AI is 25 grams per day up to age 50, and it drops to 21 grams per day for those over age 50. These recommendations help ensure adequate digestive health and the prevention of chronic diseases. To meet these fiber intake goals, it's helpful to know the fiber content in various foods. Here are some examples. Legumes such as beans are excellent sources of fiber, providing 7 to 9 grams per half a cup of cooked beans. Vegetables offer 3 to 5 grams of fiber per half cup when cooked. Incorporating a variety of vegetables into your meals can significantly boost your fiber intake. Fruits and fruits typically contain 1 to 3 grams of fiber per piece. They are not only high in fiber, but also rich in vitamins and antioxidants. Breads and cereals contribute 1 to 3 grams of fiber per serving. Choosing whole grain options can enhance the fiber content of your diet. And nuts and seeds are also valuable sources of fiber, providing 2 to 5 grams per ounce. They make a great addition to snacks and meals. And this is just giving you an idea of what that looks like in table form. So dietary carbohydrates include monosaccharides and disaccharides, which are simple sugars, and then polysaccharides, which are complex carbohydrates. Most foods in the starch, fruit, and vegetable exchanges contain a high percentage of carbohydrate, primarily complex carbohydrates, and that's really where you want to eat the most from. The RDA for carbohydrate is 130 grams daily, while the AMDR is 45 to 65% of energy intake. And the AI for total fiber is 38 and 25 grams per day for young men and women respectively, and then somewhat lower than that for older men and women. The daily value for carbohydrate is about 300 grams, and for dietary fiber, 25 grams, based on a 2,000 calorie diet. And that is part 1 for chapter 4, really looking at dietary carbohydrates as a whole. We'll switch over into metabolism in part 2 of chapter 4. Talk with you soon. Have a great day.